I'm a big old scaredy cat. Honestly, I really just turned on, oh, look at the baby geese. Oh, I'm so far away. I can't show you. I just turned on the camera just to cut down the anxiety that I tend to have. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just from years of being behind the camera, being the photographer. Maybe it's just the way that I sized it up in my mind, saying that, oh, these other people have a better camera presence than I do. Who would ever want to watch me do anything? I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I came up here with so much to say. Even have notes to read from, and I'm still blanking. Decisions shape our destiny. Little everyday decisions will either take you to the life that you desire or to disaster by default. It's the littlest of decisions that shape our lives. Stray off the course by 2 millimeters and your whole trajectory changes. But the good news is this. Just as a 2 millimeter shift may veer you off in a different target destination, a 2 millimeter readjustment can bring you right back to where you need to be. Honestly, you just have to be willing. And I hope that this all comes to a full head, because first off, my name's Imani. My name is Imani Nicole. We'll come back to that. But this is the first time that I am obligating myself to actually post my video. I had plans of grandeur of how I was going to do this, sit down by the river, make it a big showcase, blah, 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 blah. As I'm walking to the water, I sit down at a completely different spot. I am sitting outside of an overgrown garden that just felt right. There's this nice table that you'll see, and I'm in the shade, just getting a moment to kind of like take in the scenery. But then also just, you have to let yourself be willing and with enthusiasm. So I'm just going to start by reading this one little thing. If this catches no traction, that's perfectly fine. But unto the Most High I give the glory due to his name. So I worship him in the beauty of holiness. And I truly feel like I'm in the beauty of holiness right now. Psalms 29. So I wrote this a couple days ago, but just as I woke up and started writing in my journal, I try to take daily walks, right? And in taking those walks, I call them faith walks, because especially when I first started these walks, just the feeling of I was getting that reward of just being out in the morning and observing life and waking up with the world and nature and things of that nature. Even though I live in the city, technically, I would find random places where it would make me feel a little bit more secluded. Like right now, like this is just some public property that is outside of a place of worship. And yeah, like I'm literally, I don't know if you can hear the car or road noise behind me, but it just feels so isolated. And the cicadas and the birds are so much louder here. You would almost forget that I'm right on the road. But when I had woken up just 2 days ago or so, I had jokingly written, because I was backlogging in my journal, I started to look at my walks as more obligatory than joyful as I once had. I stopped writing there. I didn't even come back to it. But literally, I opened up my phone, I listened to a message or a TikTok that my guy had sent me, and in that TikTok, The lady was literally talking about how exercise is beautiful. Like, I'm saying an overview, a gist of it. But she was just saying that, like, you shouldn't feel like it's an obligation. Exercise is not an obligation, but something you're doing for yourself. And I was like, how are you just gonna respond to exactly what I just wrote? Like, it shouldn't be obligatory. It's not an obligation, but something you are doing for yourself. And I thank you, Father, for granting me the mindset. Every drop of sweat is feeding my brain, restructuring it, and making a better home for you, tempering me. I am grateful for the hippocampal, the prefrontal function, and mood that every time I go out, Father, you show me a new thing. I just have to be willing and enthusiastic to receive more. I don't want to be lazy. I want to be diligent. And the biggest thing out of that diligence is that there becomes tapped in resources that he's created in us. That when you feed into the apathy, when you feed into the distractions, when you feed into all of those things that are not going to grow you or to build you up stronger, or to, just allow your brain to thrive at its highest capacity, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want that at all. Like, those are easy things to find, and they are found in abundance. We live in a world where there's many devices to cause this distraction. However, if we focus and lock into the goals that we have, then nothing can stop us except for an adversarial force. And even then, he does not have the power, because you have already decided in your mind that you want it to be focused. So I wanted to read one of the scriptures that I had read from 2nd Esdras, which is not in the canon text. However, I thought it was really important and relevant. The Father likes the rare resources found within us. And I said, Lord, how will this be? He said, not only this, but ask the earth, and she will tell you. Entreat her, and she will declare to you. For you will say to her, you bring out gold and silver and brass and iron also, and lead and clay. But silver is more abundant than gold, and brass than silver, and iron than brass, lead than iron, and clay than lead. Therefore, judge which things are precious and to be desired, what is abundant or what is rare. And I said, O Lord, that bears rule. That which is plentiful is of less worth, for that which is more rare is more precious. And he answered me and said, weigh within yourself the things that you have thought. For he that has what is hard to get rejoices over him who has what is plentiful. So also is the judgment which I have promised, for I will rejoice over the few that will be saved. Inasmuch as these are those who have made my glory now to prevail, and of whom my name is now named. The Most High has not made one world but two. For whereas you have said that the just are not many but few, and the ungodly abound, hear the answer to that. If you have exceedingly few choice stones, will you set for yourself near them, according to their number, things of lead and clay? The Most High commands us to be the diamond, the precious stone, the crown jewel, the gold that he created us to be. The clay of fear, the lead of laziness and discontent, the iron of weakness are abundant, and they should not find a place on the shelf of your life next to the gold and silver. Allow them to remain where they are found, and step into your royal priesthood. Polish your gems and metals daily with the refined word. He wants you to shine in his glory, his adarad. That is the Hebrew or Aramaic word for glory. His garments is the same word, adarad. So you're putting on the glory, you're putting on his garments, which are his glory. His garments of priesthood. And then I found in Psalms 132 verse 9, let thy priests be clothed with righteousness and thy saints with glory. And just off of a little caveat that I like that this journal has a quote just right on time. God is everything that is good and comfortable for us. He is our clothing that for love wraps us, clasps us, and all surrounds us for tender love. Julian Norwich. As a continuation of the feeling that I had originally of my walks feeling like obligation and not allowing myself to be in my highest esteem and stature. Yesterday, I had woken up at 5 o'clock and I invited my beloved to come out with me for a walk, essentially to this location, to this place that I was coming at now. And then we'd walk over to the grocery store. He had decided that he wanted to do something else. So in doing that, still coming out of my obligatory motion, I decided that I wasn't going to take the walk then, but I would definitely do one of my workout sessions that have me essentially walking 10,000 steps in place. So yesterday I really got introduced to the fault of having a double mind, because when I put on these workout sessions, I know pretty much the next move that she's going to make. So I'm paying attention, but I'm not focused on the video itself. So me being cool and whatever, I thought that I could get away because I don't have an Apple Watch. I don't really personally want to have that on my body at all times. I usually just put my phone on airplane mode and put it on my hip, and then I'll just walk and do whatever I need to do. But yesterday I was like, no, I want to watch a video while I'm doing the workout. So I pretty much held it in my hand the entire time. Now, I've done this workout beforehand, and I knew that by the halfway point we usually get if not 5,000 steps, get 4,600, right? So I was expecting by the time that I was 2/3 of the way through that I would be pretty much at my day's goal, and that I would have everything already situated. Ironically, a butterfly that I wanted to capture footage of is now fluttering, so sorry for my distraction, but now beautifully fluttering by. Maybe I can catch over here. But anyway, I wanted to, the fact that I was holding my phone in hand and doing all my phone wasn't registering those as steps, which is fine. I'm glad that I worked out regardless. But in doing that, I was like, oh, okay, this is what it means to really focus and do something 100% than trying to do multiple things at once. What is the value in designating 10% of your effort to 10 different tasks? If only 10% is going to get completed, or it's not going to be done well, then what was the point of you even really doing it at all? It's better value to just give 100% to the task that you're doing at that exact moment. And I know that's not groundbreaking information, but a lot of times the decision to not put all of your effort into one thing at a time backfires, because you don't even realize that by splitting your mind even just a fraction of it, 10% is dramatic. Prime example, I was doing that exercise really intensely, right? But because I already knew what was coming and I kind of already put it in my mind as if it was a second nature motion, I was trying to do too much in me trying to watch a video at the same time, because therefore it's not measuring my actual accomplishment in the workout. I was just treading water, to to bring another metaphor into it. What was creating a little bit of distress is the fact that I was stepping abundantly, but I was only getting credit for probably about half of what I was doing. And so at the end of the day, like, I still had it set in my mind that I needed to hit my 8,000 at least steps. And so I decided that at the end of that 10,000 step workout, I made only about like maybe 6,400 steps at the end of that. And I chose to do another, which then took me at least over that 8,000 step mark. And then just from living life for the rest of the day, I was able to get over 10,000 steps. But it just didn't give me that accomplishment. Like, I felt disappointment that I had to do more just to get the same outcome that I would have had I been focused the first time around. And then you're exerting more effort, and it's not even guaranteed that you're putting in a good effort to get to that final pinpoint. Like, I would have had satisfaction if I just put my all into it the first time around and then got over the finish line, versus me just slouching through for the next 2,000 steps to just kind of, do it successfully, quote unquote.